Alright, let's get started. Okay. Oh god, they didn't label these. What the hell, dude? Hey, okay. Is he watching chat? Yes, I'm watching chat. Because today is building day. That means I can look at chat. So don't think I don't see you. Because I do, and I appreciate you very much for showing up. If you don't paint them, will they go faster? Is it because it's on a red sprue? Is it because it's on a red sprue? Because no! So the thing is that they used to have rules for paint it red, which basically just allowed the model to move just like an extra inch in game. They don't have that rule anymore, which, granted, sucks. Wait. No, because, wait, hold on. What? Wait a second. Sorry, so I got this box pre-built. Like, I got a model that was pre-built from this box, so now I'm completely thrown off about how, like, I'm supposed to build this bike. Oh no. Oh no. Boys, girls, non-binary pals, we are going in blind with building this thing. Oh boy. Even though I have the instruction booklet right beside me, we're going in blind. Fill in with glue. And then we slap them together. Just like that. See? We's building a good battle. We's building a good bike. Yeah. Is this your first hype train? I'm going to move chat a little bit here. 1 second. That way you can see what I'm doing. There we go. No, this is not my first hype train. I'm just wanting to get these orc bikes built. Because there's a tournament coming up this weekend, and I'm running orcs in it. And I'm predominantly running 3 orc biker squads each. They're 3-man squads, but like I'm let's get this level higher. Hey, thank you for the 100 bits. Ooh, attorney. Yeah, so the list idea that I cooked up with my friend last night while I was at his house for dinner. Don't worry, everyone that was there was vaccinated. So like, don't panic. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. Orc bikers are actually really good in the game right now. And in the competitive space of 40k, I am not worries. Holy shit. In the competitive space of 40k, orks broke competitive again. So, like, ha! Fun times. Smarty! How you doing, Smarty? But yeah, so the orc list that won, like, a massive tournament, ran no infantry at all. Ran 0. Can he see the sub? Can he see subs? It didn't tell me that I had a sub. Oh, no, I see it. Right here. Thank you so much for the sub. Oh, shoot. Smarty? 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 What did you do? Smarty? Smarty, what did you do? Smarty! What did you do? How many subs is that? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Oh my god, what did you do? 50? Babe? 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 Oh god. Red guns go faster. My love! One, Smarty. Smarty. Thank you for the bits, Smarty. And Boris. Oh my god, thank you so much, guys. Where is this coming from?
Where is what coming from?
55 subscriptions on Twitch.
Oh my god!
From one person who gifted it to 55 people. Their name is Smarty. Smarty. How much? What? Huh? What?
Like, is that a mistake?
Is that a mistake, buddy? Like, I'm worried. I'm a little bit worried.
Oh my god!
I'm also trying to build a thing while I'm doing this, and then that happened, and my brain's just like, breathe. And I'm like, ah! It was on purpose. What?
Thank you so much! Oh my goodness!
But that was on purpose, boss. Choo choo. Choo choo. Oh. I swear, one of these days you guys are going to give me a heart attack. Holy piss, dude.
Have fun. Try not to die.
No promises, but I love you.
I love you.
No promises are made.
Sarah, get out of this thing.
No promises are made. Sorry, I'm just going to put the instruction manual right here so I can see it. Get out. Get under the compute. Under the compute. Under the computes. Thank you. So I could see what I'm doing. You guys, oh my god. What is with all these donations? Oh my god, what? I'm trying to build bikes! What the fuck? Oh my god, what are you guys doing? Oh, you guys. Wait, is that supposed to go there, or where's this supposed to go? This is a pedal, right? Yeah, it goes there. So then where's the other side of the pedal? put pedal to metal, right? Unless these instructions are mirrored, which in that case GW is a bunch of hacks. But like, damn, dude! Let us love you! Ah! Ah! I gotta... You guys are gonna make me fucking cry, dude! Like... Dude! It's so nice. You guys are just, like, so nice to me. Why are you so nice to me? What did I do? The whole reaction is almost... I haven't had people this nice to me outside of, like, my family and my close personal friends. You are awesome. You guys are gonna make me cry, like, what the f... Like, oh my god, guys. You gave us smiles and laughter. You guys. Ah! Bike! There is a bike that I am building, and orks is never beaten in battle. I feel like I'm missing a sprue, but I'm not. I'm just blind because I'm trying to get through the tears. Ah! Well, now we are showing you how much you mean to us. You deserve it and deserve to know. Oh my god, you guys. Ah! Okay, so just to let you guys know, right now, so over there in the corner, you can see, that's all my orks. That's all of them. That single box, this tiny box right here, that has 87 Choppa boys in it. That's 87 boys that will smack your shit by happy slaps. And then this box is like a mixed assortment of knobs, war bosses, big mechs, vehicles, and a Gazgul. There's a Gazgul in there. I plan on sorting that for our tournament list. If we get 15 views on Twitch, I'll give 20 more. You'll do what? Excuse me? Excuse me? What? You guys. Oh, look at all the wah. I don't think we're gonna get to 15 today. Like, my streams stay consistently at, like... My streams stay consistent at, like, 8 to 10, maybe, like, on a bad day, like, 6 to 7. And I stream to vibe and just be with you guys. I'm just happy anyone shows up. Consistent for now. Let's say 10. There was already 10 people. I don't know what happened. What is happening? Ah! You guys! I love you all so much, but holy shit, dude. Ah! We're gonna throw a beast head on this thing, because I like my orks to have beasties. I mean, my god, guys. Oh. You know, I'm gonna hop in my stream chat. What do you want, dude? Playing on Kill Team tomorrow or want to try a 2K game? Let's try a 2K game. Let's see. Sorry, just my friend messaged me. One sec. Let's try 2K. Need to practice moving 90 models fast. When I was making the list with my friend, he's like, you need to learn how to move 90 models very fast. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? It means either learn how to move 90 models very fast or lose by time. So, like, don't be a dick. Is basically what he's telling me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Come on. Fit in the hole. Fit in hole. Fit in hole. Do you not fit in hole? No, you fit in hole. Good. You fit. Vroom vroom. Okay. Oh, God. You guys, I love you so much. You guys just... I know I'm saying the same shit over and over, but like... Hot damn. Fudge. Everything is falling on me. I don't have room on my desk. Move stuff. Move. I need room. I need room to build. Piss. Fuck it. I'll just clean that later. No! Damn it. Is my desk a mess? Yes. I had to fix an Abaddon last night. It sucked. The Emperor protects. No, he doesn't. He's a corpse on a throne. And you know it. My desk is always a mess. Yeah. Yeah, mine too. So, to anybody in the Discord or whatever, for pity's sake, get on the bike. Thank you. So, for any of you that are not in the Discord server, you can get into my Discord by subscribing on my Patreon. It's a one-time fee, so you don't have to keep paying it. I'd appreciate it if you did, because I want to at least get to like $300 a month on Patreon, so that way I have a reliable source of income that I can use to pay for merch and pay an artist to design the stuff for the merch. And I want to get merch out for you guys, so that way you have... I'm giving something back at least, because, like, I know, like, I entertain you guys, but, like, I feel like that's not enough, and I want you guys to have something more than just, like, the laughs I give you. Well, I don't even give you the laughs. You choose to laugh at my stuff. Well, it's not even... I can't speak properly because, like, you guys, God... Ah! But yeah, like, the idea would be, like, there would be winter hats for people. Like, I would sell winter hats with, like, my little mole on it. And, then there would be, like, the shirt, like, it's a rainbow today, guardsman. Because I know everyone loved that one. Answer my question, I am trying to help you. Which question? Do you happen to play Dead by Daylight? I do not play Dead by Daylight. I am not good at survival games very much. I actually quite suck at them. Okay, this head is not staying on. I think we might have to try a different war piece. Let's try this one here. Like my... I'm sorry if, like, I'm hanging on to, like, all the nice stuff you guys did. It's... Do you play Dead by Daylight? I already answered, no, I don't. I tried. I gave it an honest-to-God shot. I couldn't get into it. It's not bad. It's just not for me. I tried. I gave it a shot. I gave it a fair and honest shake. It's not a bad game, and I will never decry it for being bad. I suck, and it wasn't for me. And just, there's a lot about Dead by Daylight that, like, just, where my brain just goes, like, we should like it because we like Dead Space, right? And I go, just because we like Dead Space doesn't mean we have to like every survival game. Do you play Stellaris? With that fucking pay entry to get in? No! I asked because there's a group of us that play and stream it. Yeah, no, sorry, I could not play that game, and it's just not for me. I like platformers. I do like survival horror, but like only when it's like a single player experience. That's fair. I thought I would ask. Hey, there's no harm in asking. There's no harm in asking. There is no harm in asking anything. Please do never feel like worried to ask anything in my chat. I appreciate you all so very fucking much. Though, something that I did do today that I was taken aback by. I made a video today on TikTok. Shock, I know. But, it was a video about the Warhammer community. I don't know if any of you saw that. So, in a Spanish city, there was a tournament going on, and this was a GW-sponsored event. Oh, how would you recommend getting into 40K? Let me finish my story, and I'll get into it. For those that didn't see it, so a guy showed up with hateful imagery. I'm not going to say it because I don't know Twitch's terms of service on saying it. But he straight up showed up with hateful imagery, and he was politely taken to the back of the hall and like asked to leave because no player was wanting to play him. So he was basically going 0-20 because his opponents would forfeit and refuse to play him. Which, good on them, because fuck that guy. And he threatened to call the cops because he was just going to be that kind of person. And GW learned what happened and has now banned hateful imagery from their stores and from any official event that they sponsor. Which I approve of wholeheartedly, because like the Warhammer game has no place for that kind of mentality. It has no place in it. And I'm very happy that like a lot of people on my TikTok Where'd that go? Ah, head! Get back here! Piss. Ow. Remember that clock app video? Was surprised when they did it. Yeah, so I'm very happy that a lot of people were supportive of that. Because, as I've said before, I am autistic, and those kinds of people that wear those kinds of hate symbols, they want to see people like me dead. They do not like me. They do not want me alive. So I get very bent out of shape when people defend it. Well, what did I come into? I was talking... Oh, Professor, good to see you. I was talking about GW's recent stance on hateful imagery in the Warhammer community. And that they are banning hateful imagery in anybody wearing it or identifying with it. They're banning people from their stores and such, or events that they host, if people show up to events with that kind of bigoted imagery. I'm an autistic Jew. I'm glad that they are taking this stand. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. That's at least one good thing GW has done recently then. Yeah! This is the one good thing they did recently that I agree with. Could stand to fix their goddamn prices, but... Hey, small victories. But, like, there was a few people in the comments, and you're gonna get those people, who were either just trying to troll because they're stupid and they don't know what the hell they're doing anyway, or they were either naive or they're just hateful bigots. And I'm very glad. Do you prefer first person or identity video? What do you mean by first person or identity video? Got to pay for the plastic crack. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, don't think I understand the question. Could you rephrase it a little better, Smarty? Got to pay for the plastic crack. Yeah, we gotta pay for it. Oh, okay, so these are ammo boxes on each side of them. Cardboard for me, Pokemon, Force of Will. Next type, person first or identity first when you're referring to your autism. Ooh. How do I answer this question? How do I answer this question? You know, I was never actually asked this question before. I need to be honest here about with my autism. For the longest time when it came to me, I always saw my autism as problematic. That no matter what, it was a flaw in me, that I was born with a flaw, and that I grew to hate myself because of it. For like the longest time, I didn't like myself. I thought I was broken. I thought I was damaged, and I hated myself, honestly, with everything. I didn't know how to do things in my life that other people just knew how to do normally, and it honestly ate at me that, like, all these people could just do things normally that I couldn't. And it was not a good experience for me growing up with it. And for a while, I was in the camp of my autism doesn't represent me, I represent me. But then I wouldn't do a very good job of representing who I was. So, like, it would just always backfire. But what I'm trying to say here is, honestly, it depends on the person. It highly depends on the person. I personally do not like to think my autism defines me. But it does in a way. But I like to be a person first. Because that's what I am. Hi, Levy. I am a person first. That I'm a person with autism. That is it. There's no diagnosis first. There is just, I am a person, and I have autism. And I'm fine, Levy. I'm doing all right. I'm having a good time. I got all you in the chat here with me. I'm having a good night. I'm building orks. We're having a good night. We're just enjoying ourselves. We're just having a good night. And if you guys want to hop on and talk about stuff or debate stuff, you are more than welcome to. I am just sitting in chat in my Discord, which you can join by just subscribing to my Patreon. It's a one-time payment. But yeah, like, if you want to come in, talk, it's a WA sort of night. Yeah, dude, because I'm building orcs, because I want to get these bikes done. Because I got a tournament. I'm lurking in the Discord, didn't realize you were streaming, so I muted myself. Oh, no, you can unmute yourself if you're comfortable with that. Please don't if you are not comfortable with it. Oh, God.
Oh, no, I'm good. Hey, dude, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Trying to get caught up on my homework. I'm actually on the current week finally, thank God.
Woo! Finals!
Yeah, well, finals is luckily not for like another 2 weeks, but might as well be next week with some of my classes.
That makes sense.
Because, like, hey, Smarty.
Smarty. What the fuck? Dude. How much was that, dude? Are you okay? Like, you're fine financially, right? You're not in trouble or anything? Like,
No. Wait, what did Smarty do?
Smarty, the magnificent boy that he is, or person or non-binary.
I'm Mel. Don't worry.
Okay. They gifted over 55 subs to the entire chat.
75.
Holy smokes.
So, like,
Smarty robbed a bank.
did you rob a bank?
No.
Announcer of games, do you think so little of me? It was a credit union.
Hey, credit unions are pretty good, pretty cool. I'm a part of one.
That's a joke from the TV show, which, by the way, I highly recommend. The Ghost in Molly McGee. It is so fucked, but it is amazing, and it's a Disney show too. Oh my god! Like, the first episode, they show a guy, like, he gets knocked up by a street sign and he's dragged away by a horde of raccoons. Never to be seen again, by the way. We never see that man ever again.
Isn't that the best kind of show?
Yes. The shows that leave characters' fates ambiguous. Is that not going to fit? I'm kind of worried that's not going to fit.
Yes, the struggle of assembling these minis. It's like, is that gonna fit? I don't know. It looks too tight.
Yeah, I think I might have built them a little too close on one end. So, we're gonna have to probably do what us wargamers do best.
Improvise.
Yeah, Parma, you make it fit.
Make it fit!
You know, at least you're not like one of my friends who had a Reptile battle suit and he like had somebody drill holes in like the arms and
Where'd
stuff
that-
like that to make them magnetize.
Where'd that go? Where the hell did that go? Guys, we got a loose bit and I have no idea where it went.
Oh,
And guess what? The real tragedy of this is I'm on carpet. That shit's
Oh.
lost.
oh. Time to get out all fours, boy.
Time to find it.
I think
So-
I found the bit.
The funniest thing is that back when I was getting my friends into 40K, one of my friends bought a Mechanicus army,
Mm-hmm.
and in Mechanicus they only have the one special character, Belisarius Call. Did all of you know that Call has a cane?
No, actually, I had no idea.
He has a cane on his model. Guess where we were building on?
Carpet.
Carpet. And not just any carpet, it was like one of those decorative carpets that like was very fuzzy and everything that like you could just
so, like,
put under a
deep
cup.
shag.
Yeah, so we spent like an hour combing through that thing looking for that fucking
Yeah, that's not
cane.
coming back.
Oh, it came back. My brother found it.
How much later?
An hour later.
Yeah.
Rum rum coming through, bitches. Shoot. I'm just dropping stuff today because like I'm trying not to cry.
Ramus ate a little bit ago. Log on capitalism tonight.
Who gave me a sub? You can thank Smarty for that one. Smarty is here in chat with me. Say hi, Smarty. Smarty?
Oh, is my sound not working?
Your sound cut out. But yeah, like say hi.
Hi.
Say hi to the chat.
I said hi.
Smarty here gifted everybody, well 55 of you, like a subscription, like a tier 1
Whatever.
subscription. Which I don't know how much that is, so like that my brain's immediately like, what do we do?
$5 each.
$5.
And it's currently sitting at 75.
Captain! Captain! I need assistance! Ah! Ah!
Oh no. Oh no.
Smarty broke him. Yeah, Smarty did. Oh my god.
I hope it's a good breaking.
In nowhere is this bad. I want you to understand that. None of
good.
what you did was bad. You gotta understand that I'm not used to this kind of attention. Even though, like, I went seeking it. This is the consequences of my actions. But like, you guys gotta understand. Like, I grew up in a very. I grew up in a community where this kind of lifestyle was discouraged, and like my parents they were always very supportive of me. They always tried to encourage me to do the things that I wanted to do. But it was still, I was in a
Was hard
community.
for them?
Huh?
Was this one hard for them, or was it more the community?
It was more the community that I was in and like the school that I
Wow.
went to, like the schools that I went to. Where I live, it doesn't offer very much in the ways of helping someone like myself who wants to do acting and do these kinds of content creation stuff. Like there's like one editing class in my local college kind of a thing, and then going to the U of A, which is like 4 hours away from here where I live, is not an option because it's so goddamn expensive. And then
Go ahead, sorry.
I barely passed high school. Because when I was in elementary, I should have rightfully been held back. I wasn't a functional kid when I was in elementary school from like grade 1 to 5. I should have been held back, but the teachers just passed me along.
That's not a healthy teacher.
No, it wasn't a healthy school. And
I know that feeling. I know that feeling more than you know.
yeah. So I wasn't motivated to do school, and it kind of fucked me in the end. I was still good enough, like, in English and everything, and history, because I love history, that I could do, like, those classes and everything, but, like, I was fucked out of a lot of different things because people just didn't want to deal with an autistic kid. It was very discouraging being me, and I felt like this was the only path left to me, honestly, and at the end of the day, it was just I'm happy I get to do this. I'm happy I get to do the job that I want to do, the work that I want to do, because, like, to be perfectly honest, is that I don't want people feeling like I did when I was a kid. It was very lonely, very isolated, and I kind of live by the mentality that if I can make one person happy, I consider that day a win. I know that's very sappy, and I know a lot of people would be like, "That's dumb as fuck, you sappy bitch." But that's how I want to live, and my life. I choose what I want to fucking do.
That's a very good way to live your life.
I'm a sappy fuck tire. No. The tire broke.
I think you're a little bit tired.
Oh, am I a bit tired? I hadn't noticed.
Oh, did you miss the pun?
I missed the pun. I didn't hear the pun. I'm sorry.
You're tired.
Oh, I'm tired. You're funny.
I think it was just so bad that his brain initially rejected it.
No, I genuinely didn't hear it. I genuinely. But yeah, like, so something I also wanted to do with my Patreon here and, like, my Discord is that I wanted to open it up so that way, like, if people had questions or they wanted to debate me on, like, which series is better, Star Trek or 40K, that kind of shit.
Oh no.
That we could have, like, a friendly talk about it and, like, have a friendly discourse.
Can of worms.
I am very much on the phrase that, like, you can have a healthy discussion about stuff.
Oh, you can totally have a healthy discussion. Does that mean that discussion is not a can of worms? No.
No, it's a full-on shit show that I opened myself up to.
Yeah.
With an honest-to-God smile on my face. And people were like, like, I want to do it. And I'm like, then come into my Discord. How do I do that? You subscribe. And then we talk.
Subscribe.
You see, it was a multi-layered plan to get people to come in for a one-time payment, and then we could talk forever. But yeah, like, or I would just, like, friend them here on Discord and then invite them in that way. I'm very
Read
clever.
it.
But yeah, like the idea is that I do want to talk to these people because like they seem very genuine in like their curiosity about like 40K and everything, and I want to facilitate that curiosity because I believe that 40K should be open to everybody and everybody should be able to learn about it.
It'd be more accessible to people if the prices for the model kits were cheaper. But
Oh, you have no idea. Everybody agrees with you on that one. Just GW is
know.
stupid and has cornered the market. Because who's
Oh,
going to
I'm well
challenge
aware.
them? Who's going to challenge them? Disney?
Oh,
Well, that'd be a fight I'd want to see.
Disney has trying to get into the circuit. But like they're not doing a good job of it. Bye, Farva.
I mean, Star Wars X-Wing is okay.
Oh, X-Wing's okay. But do you hear about the massive tournaments?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Do you, and as well as like Star Wars Legion isn't doing too hot either.
Oh no. Definitely.
But then again, they're not promoting it. Star Wars could easily overtake 40K in the tabletop district. But they just don't advertise it. And it's frustrating.
And imagine if they did Marvel as well.
Oh, no, the Marvel action the Marvel action game is actually doing fairly decently.
Oh, that's good.
It's just not doing the same numbers as Warhammer is.
Right.
Ah.
It's a numbers game at the end of the day. And oh god, imagine if Disney put GW and was them in charge of 40K. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. We all know it's coming. We all know the mouse will not stop.
I'm just imagining Claire with a pair of mouse ears out.
Just fucking all four Chaos Gods bowing before Mickey Mouse as he holds the Keyblade in his hand. So, you thought that you could get away with it, huh? Thinking yourself superior in every way, shape, and form? Huh? And then the Chaos Gods just look at him in terror. He's like, I have the power to delete your ass.
There is this. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like a new chapter of Chaos Space Marines comes out of the warp, and it's just a bunch of Space Marines with spiky bits and mouse ears.
There is this
We are the sons of
There's
Mickey.
There is this great meme I saw. It was I don't
let's
remember
go for a moment.
it was one of the USS Enterprises from Star Trek,
Oh, no.
facing off against a Ravager ship and a Imperial Star Destroyer with the text "Faster, Sulu, before Disney acquires this too."
Yeah, I've seen that one. I love it.
Oh no. Wait, who owns Star Trek right now? I'm actually gonna look that up.
CBS.
CBS.
CBS Paramount.
owns it, and doesn't Warner Brothers have the movie rights?
I don't know about the movie rights now that I think about it.
They
know at least
haven't
from
touched that movie. They haven't touched like the remade universe in like a long time.
a couple of years.
Yeah, I like those movies. What the fuck?
Yeah, they were
Like
actually
the-
decent.
I was okay. Okay, I was okay. I'm pretty sure it's the same argument that a lot of other Star Trek nerds have out there, but
Cool.
I was okay with the second Abrams movie all the way up until they got Benedict Cumberbatch on there, and I saw him playing in that movie. I'm like, he's gonna be Khan. I know it. And he's like, no, oh no, he's not Khan. It's not Khan. We're not doing Wrath of Khan. And then they do Wrath of Khan with the end scene being in reverse.
Yeah, I was shocked that they did Wrath of Khan, and like this is coming from a guy who like hardly knew anything about Star Trek, but I knew about Khan.
What I will
Yeah.
say is that currently CBS has full movie rights. It used to be under Paramount, but there was a whole legal battle, and CBS managed to get them.
Ah, okay.
So what? Does Paramount own the TV rights then, and then CBS owns the movie rights? Is that what I'm hearing?
CBS currently owns both rights.
Okay.
When CBS Viacom split, Viacom, which owns Paramount, got the movie rights, and CBS had the TV rights. and there was a bunch of legal squabbling over that, and finally CBS ended up
Oh.
on top with both rights.
You know, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like, the reason why I want to talk to people about, like, this stuff is because I want to learn about different sci-fi universes. I want to expand my knowledge and hopefully expand other people's knowledge, too, because I am getting sick and tired of listening to these stupid fucking arguments where it's just like, people will say, like, oh, well, Star Trek will just do this, Star Trek will just do that. You can't have a response to everything. That's impossible. It's why I say that Flood would beat their ass within an inch.
Yeah, but then you gotta remember there's that wonderful song from Voltaire, the USS makes shit up.
Yeah, that's it. Like, Star Trek makes shit up as it goes, but that's the beauty
Yeah.
of a sci-fi universe. You
Right.
can do what you want.
I gotta find this. 1 second.
We can't play that music over. We can't play that music over the stream. I will get copyright strike.
I'm not playing music. It's a.
Okay.
It's a. Don't worry. I'm not gonna play music.
Thank
I
you.
know better than that.
Thank you.
I'm trying to find this. It was a It was something about how like. 1 second.
I was focusing on grad school work. What did I miss? You missed everything. We're just talking. We're just shooting the shit, honestly. And we're talking about, like, how I'm annoyed with, like, a lot of people that are just like, my universe can do this, my universe can do that, and that's why I win. And I'm like, if we're throwing everything at everything, the rules are off the fucking table. I.e., you don't get plot armor anymore.
I gotta find the full version of this. Alright, I found it. So
Okay.
Can't find it. Ugh. It's an analysis of Star Trek, but I can't find it, and this is frustrating me. It's a really good analysis.
What was the
The gist of it was basically the reason that humans are in charge of the Federation is because it's only human ships where stuff goes wrong, but that's only because like all the weird stuff that goes wrong on the ships isn't because of the serial format. It's because it's humans in charge. So
Yeah,
like,
I've heard this.
none of the other like species like the Klingons and the Romulans don't have the same issues because it's humans doing stupid stuff that causes this. But the advantage of that is that they can pull out 1,000 BS science fictiony stuff out of the bottom of a pail and beat them, and that's why they're so good against the Borg. The idea that two aliens, all humans are just Doc Brown. Humans and space Rocks. It's one of those. But it's the idea that two aliens, all humans are just Doc Brown from what's it called?
Yup.
Back to the Future.
Right, like it's like Vulcans are like, oh, why you should never direct an entire warp core directly into your weapon systems, and then meanwhile there's Cisco with a Defiant like, here, watch this.
And then there's the idea that that like every alien species has like some magic that only works for them, and humans' magic is being able to get things to work that shouldn't. So,
Yes,
the orc logic.
The idea of percussive maintenance, where you hit something and it works.
Yeah.
No other species does that work. It's not something other species can do. So, like, humans can build mechs that barely function when another alien is driving them. They should not function, but humans, they work.
It's just orcs. Federation humans are just orcs.
And the idea is every ship needs a human engineer whose sole job is to just occasionally hit the engine with a wrench to fix stuff.
I love the idea of just this one ship full of like Klingons or something. There's just this one human in the warp core with a big old, one of those big old industrial sized wrenches. Just
Oh my god, no way. But there was one. I'll let you finish.
There's one other thing where in one of I can't remember which Star Trek series this was, but there's one where there is a where the like chief engineering officer isn't human, and like strangely enough in that series, technology does not go haywire the same way it does in the rest of the Star Trek series. And the only time that technology really gets haywire is when one of the human engineers decides to dump all of the memory just into the hard drive, hoping that it would work. Which is basically like taking an SD card and downloading all the stuff, downloading all your games on your PlayStation 4 on an SD card, plugging it into a Raspberry Pi, and thinking you can play PlayStation games on it.
Wait, are you sure that was Star Trek?
It's one of like the offshoot series. I can't remember which one. It is. I think it's Deep Space Nine, but I'm not sure.
Because like in Deep Space Nine, they had a human engineer, Chief O'Brien. So
it's not that one then. I can't remember which one it is. I'll see if I can find it.
as far as I remember, every single Star Trek series has had a human chief of engineering, because it was like.
I'll see if I can find it.
So let me see. Let me think my way through this here, because let me think. Okay, TOS was Scotty, obviously. TNG was LaForge.
1 second, I'll pull it up.
Okay.
So when you guys are finished your tangent, I'm gonna tell you guys something, and it's a very funny conversation I had with my brother last night.
Oh, it's not that O'Brien wasn't human. It's just that he actually did stuff the proper way. And the biggest malfunction
He found
was
the power.
Senior staff getting trapped as holosuite characters, and that's because a human just decided to dump the transporter buffer into the station's core memory.
Oh, that one. Okay. I know the episode you're talking about.
And there's and then there's this whole in the Humans Are Space Orcs thing. They created a whole interaction between the Klingons and the Vulcans. The Klingons go, "Okay, we don't get it." The Vulcan Science Academy goes, "Get what? Klingons. You Vulcans are a bunch of stuffy prisses, but you're also tougher, stronger, and smarter than humans in every single way. Why do you let them run your federation?" Vulcan Science Academy, look, this is a species where if you give them 2 warp cores, they don't do experiments on one and save the other for if the first one blows up. This is a species where if you give them 2 warp cores, they will ask for a third one, immediately plug all 3 into each other, punch a hole into an alternate universe where humans subscribe to an even more destructive ideological system, fight everyone in it because they're offended by that, steal their warp cores, plug those together, punch their way back here, then try to turn a nearby sun into a Taurus because that was their initial scientific experiment was for, and they didn't want to waste a trip. They did that last week. We have the write-up right here. It's getting published in about 600 scientific journals against 200 different disciplines.
What the fuck is going on in Star Trek?
The thing is, this is surprisingly close to an actual plot line.
Yeah.
Excuse me? What?
Which basically means that Vulcan, that MacGyver would be the equivalent of Vulcan horror.
What? Captain, what?
I suddenly got an image from Enterprise of T'Pol and Tucker at movie night, just sitting there watching an episode of MacGyver.
Yeah.
I'm just looking on in horror. I love it.
Also, just a quick thing. So if you see my hand, don't worry. I was just playing with my cat earlier today. So
Yeah. I was about to say those look like kitty love scratches.
Yeah, and bites. That's a lot of bites.
There's also another one, Vulcan Science Academy. Why'd you need another warp core? Humans, we're gonna plug 2 of them together and see if we go twice as fast. PSA, the last time we gave you a warp core, you threw it into a sun to see if the sun would go twice as fast. Haha, yeah, it did though. Vulcan Science Academy, it exploded. Humans, it exploded twice as fast.
Okay, so about the Star Trek and 40K thing. So it was from that one guy on TikTok, by the way. I absolutely adore this guy. He makes me laugh. He's basically the guy that says Star Trek can be anything, and he's just he was talking.
Star Trek is incredibly impressive, but it can't be anything.
Yeah, and it just comes down to that. But he was talking about Terminator armor just yesterday, and I'm like, Oh boy, what is the kitty's name? The kitty's name is Sarah. But yeah, so the conversation basically went, if Terminators managed to teleport on board a into a Starfleet ship, their phasers would tear them apart, and as well as like the deflective shielding would be able to stop them. And I'm just like, one, your shields don't matter because we use the warp to teleport. You can't stop that. Two, you're missing the biggest flaw in this plan. Your ships, marginally, are not built for Terminator size.
There is two things I will say. In Star Trek, there is like specific ways to prevent people from warping on board, because if everybody has teleporters, you need a way to stop people teleporting onto your ship. So Star Trek does have ways to do that, but if you're saying that they teleported onto your ship, you're already assuming that failed.
Yeah, so like I'm also sitting here with like the knowledge that we don't use the same teleporting technology that you would use in Star Trek. So like
Yeah.
another problem with the plan, and a lot of people overlooked this, Terminator armor. Do you know what Terminator armor's actual name is? Does anyone here know?
I can't remember. I know it's
Tactical dreadnought armor. You know how big a dreadnought is?
Yep.
It's bigger than my house. A tactical dreadnought is about the 2 floors in my house. It's not fitting on the goddamn bridge. If I teleport a Terminator onto your bridge... Wait, what's up?
I'm just curious. We're talking about the Terminator, like the movies, right?
No, we're talking 40K.
Oh.
Yeah. We're talking about the armor that the guys in like the Space Hulk games wear.
Yeah, those suits are built to do ship like boarding actions and breaching fortresses. But I looked into Starfleet measurements a little bit. If I teleported a Terminator onto your ship, I'm getting stuck in the goddamn wall, floors, or ceiling. There is, like, I teleport the guy, he's already lost his goddamn feet.
Right.
Or he's lost his head. And that is a waste of Terminator armor.
The only place it would fit at all would be the shuttle bay or a cargo bay, and that's even pushing it for the cargo bay.
Yeah, and it's like...
So, the two things I will say, the main weapon that Star Trek at some point has to deal with 40K is red matter. That's the only weapon that actually seems like it would have any effect on 40K.
Well, no, there's a few things in Star Trek that like you could reasonably use against 40K, but a lot of people when they're doing this, it's kind of where I just give a lot of people the benefit of doubt because they don't know. They're not like me. They don't meticulously research something to like an absurd degree. Because they're taking in that like, oh, I'll just teleport a bomb onto a ship and I'm good to go. Really? Can you do the calculations? How fast is your ship? How big is the enemy ship? Do you know specifically where the enemy bridge is? Do you know where the enemy's main critical points are on that ship? How far does your teleportation technology go? How do you know your enemy's not trying to do that to you too? They're not taking into account the whole strategic battle plan. And teleporting...
There's also the fact that based on calculations done, and these are rough calculations, so like depending on what you're specifically looking at, they're likely a little off. But in general, Star Trek's energy production feats are lower than most sci-fi of similar considered technological level. So 40K and Star Wars, based on the feats of what their ships are capable of, they're just sheer production of power is higher than what Star Trek ships are capable of the same size. Does that mean that Star Trek couldn't win? No, but it's a major disadvantage for them to overcome.
Yes, and as well as that, like, they're also not taking in fighter support. They're not taking in basically anything. They're just kind of like saying, like, no, Starfleet would win. Why? Because I have X.
The the three biggest disadvantages of Starfleet versus any major sci-fi group is lack of use of fighters. They just don't have them as a concept outside of some rare Klingon examples. The fact that Starfleet is a exploration and not military force, which just means that they're on a completely different footing.
Sorry, Greedy Bacon King says just teleport orc spores onto a Star Trek fleet and watch the fucking chaos. So one, that's not how orc spores work, but I understand. But oh my god, there's also
Go ahead.
there's just also like all these different. Like, he made an argument saying, like, oh, the Federation would just pacify the orcs. That's not how orcs work. Yeah. Oh, well, I just give them the holodeck so they could fight forever. They would steal that technology after beating your head in. They don't understand the concept of negotiation. The negotiation, like...
What if you trap them in the holodeck?
What? Wait, what? What if you...
That's thing?
You could trap... What if you trapped him in the holodeck?
So, like, the Star Trek main characters regularly get accidentally trapped in their own holodeck.
That sounds like a massive
thing
flaw.
That happens consistently.
Here's the thing. The orcs would get stuck in it, and then they would just kill anything inside of it, or just loot. Until, like, either another orc got them out, or until they starved to death. Orcs are not as intelligent as we think they are, but they are stupidly... Like, they're both dumb and smart at the same time. Like, they continue to impress even me.
Here's an argument against them starving to death, though, because the way the holodeck works is very similar to the way the replicators work.
Okay.
So, theoretically, the holodeck, any food sustenance that they would feed upon through the holodeck would actually just be replicated by the holodeck, essentially. So, it would be just like having a replicator of food in front for them. So, like, I don't think they'd starve it, but I think what happened is they'd be spending so much time in there and be so long in there that eventually the holographic grid would start to fail, and then eventually the arch for the doorway would appear, and then they would just start looting the technology and shit out of it.
Exactly. Orcs equal Florida, man.
The way that the best method for Starfleet to pacify the orcs is to create a planet that's just a giant holodeck that they trap the orcs in and maintain.
So
does that mean that they would do that? No. Could it work? Maybe?
No, it would not.
Now you're getting on a production scales that I'm definitely certain that the Federation does not possess. Because, I mean, look at the TNG episode where they came across a Dyson sphere. Like, they were in awe of the sheer, like, immensity of that structure.
A Dyson sphere is a solar system spanning thing. Starfleet does have does have space stations that are planet spanning. Like, you know the docks of Kuwait in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Earth has a similar space dock specifically for building ships in Star Trek.
So I need to explain something about orcs here. Orcs, they exist for two things. They exist for three things. Eating, sleeping, and fighting. That is all they exist to do. There's a reason why orcs are the most successful race in 40K. Because they embrace it. They embrace the chaos of war. You could put orcs in any scenario, and they will thrive in it. There is a current part of the lore called the Octarius War. And this was on purpose set up by an Inquisitor to see what would happen if an unstoppable force met an immovable object. I.e., he lured Tyranids into a sector where the orcs were. Like, into a major orc empire. Huh?
Did the orcs win?
No. It's a stalemate, and it got out of hand.
Yeah.
The Octarius War, when it started, was said to be a massive mistake that just kicked the can down the road. And then it got worse.
All they're doing is making both sides stronger.
Exactly. So
they created what is basically They created what is basically a grinder that all that does is make both the Tyranids and the orcs in the area stronger by weeding out the weakest of them.
And guess who showed up to that massive ass war zone?
Let me think here. I'm gonna guess.
He's on screen right now. This piece of shit! This is Gazgul Mag Uruk-Thraka, also known as the Prophet of Dawa, or the biggest, baddest war boss to ever exist. So, essentially, he showed up and rallied every single last orc in the Octarius sector under his banner. The war then spilled out into other sectors.
Lord.
So imagine this, a Tyranid fleet that wasn't very much a problem anymore because they were starving it to death, got a lot worse, and then an orc empire that was a marginal threat at best, one we could physically handle, just got the biggest, baddest war boss around, who just said, "Y'all follow me." And they all did. And any orc that said, "Nay, I say, I will not follow thee, stupid," he slapped them into submission.
Literal slap into submission?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a story where, like, he kept cutting off an orc's head, and then the Mad Dogs just kept piecing him back together and reviving him. So, like... And then, like, the orc finally...
can do that.
Yeah, and then he finally submitted after the 30th time. So, like... Yay. But yeah, so... The thing is that when it comes to orc diplomacy, there's a perfect example of how diplomacy works for orcs. It's in Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Essentially, in Dawn of War 2 Retribution, you can play like 6 different campaigns. They all basically play the same. You're just playing different factions in it. So like the orcs, you're playing a freebooter group, so pirate orcs, led by the greatest goddamn war boss a man has ever seen, Captain Bloodflag. And so an Inquisitor in the game hires him to go kill a Space Marine chapter master. And she says, as giving you technologies out of the question, giving you money is pointless, but I can give you a fight. 3 regiments of the Imperial Guard on a planet of your choice. And you want to know what you want to know what Bloodflag said to her? Throw in that hat of yours, and we got a deal. She rejected it because the hat had a shield generator in it. So he said, "No hat, no deal."
Oh my God.
Also,
I love how dumb orcs are.
and you know what's even funnier? Is that, like, this Space Marine chapter master, he was hiding on a world that was already, it got blown up by Exterminatus. So he's just hiding there as this entire sector's getting Exterminatus. And in the orc campaign, sorry everyone, I'm moving my Abaddon before he gets broken again. In this campaign, they're trying to find him, and this Exterminatus fleet is now moving through, like, all these different planets, blowing them the fuck up. And all he's like, and everyone's just like, okay, so what the hell do we do? Wait! So the humans, the Yumis, are here to blow up the planets, right? Yeah. So if the Yumis are blowing up planets, then that means they won't go to a planet that's already been blown up, right? Yeah. So then that means that the spiky boy is going to be where the fleet won't be, right? Yeah. So then that means Kyrus is in that place. Still not following you, Captain. We're going to Cyrene! And I'm just laughing as this orc is going through this entire aneurysm in front of the player, trying to think about where the fuck this Space Marine traitor is hiding out.
I sadly have to go.
Oh, well, it was nice talking to you.
You as well. I sent you a message on Patreon and an email about commissioning something. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see it, but I will look at it in a bit.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, God, my friend is
Oh,
running
God.
56 models in the tournament. That's interesting. But yeah, so, like, a lot of things about orcs. You can't reason with them very well. They're unpredictable. And the only time you should ever try to go to them to negotiate is if you have no other literal option. If you don't have another option, run away. And that's another thing, is that, like, people are like, well, the orcs are smart enough to, like, talk it out and, like, actually, like, figure stuff out together, right? Orcs will beat each other into submission because they took each other's squig pie.
Yep.
There's an orc that made a giant vacuum cleaner by accident and used it as a catapult for a little bit until he got bored and then flicked the switch in reverse. There's an orc that accidentally went back in time with his fleet to a week before he left, and then saw his ship, and then in this orc's flawless logic, he thought to himself, wait, if that's my ship over there, that means I'm over there. And if I'm over there, that means there's a second version of my favorite gun. Which means, ergo, I kill myself, I get a spare of my favorite gun.
Oh,
Guess what he fucking did?
oh no. Now, did killing himself blink him out of existence?
Yes!
Okay, good.
The answer to this question is yes.
Good. There's actual logic at work there.
As well, there's another orc. A lot of these come from the Death Skulls clan, and the Death Skulls clan is just the most funniest orc clan.
I'm aware of that. They are like some of the most insane boys on the face of the galaxy.
So, to explain the Death Skulls orc clan, their color is blue. They are the luckiest gits around. But they also tend to be kleptomaniacs. So they tend to steal everything that's not nailed down. So, these orcs, there was an orc war boss who stole a Bane blade and named it Mork's Foot. He then forgot he stole a Bane blade. Follow me on this one. He forgot he stole one of the strongest tanks in the Imperium.
Oh no.
And then stole another one. From the same regiment that he stole from originally. And then he gets back, and his boys are like, "Boss, you already had one." And he goes, and I quote, "Oh, then we'll just name it Mork's Other Foot." Do you think that favorite gun shot lots of big bullets or even more moderately large bullets?
God.
I don't know. Orc logic is very weird. But yeah, like, it's why I just say, like, if any universe had orcs in it, well, 40k orcs in it, it would be the most chaotic universe ever, but at the same time, you wouldn't really have to worry about them all that much, because even in 40k lore, an orc invasion is rare. Because orcs tend to fight each other more often than not.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, they're usually too busy fighting each other.
Yeah, because it's too good of a fight. In fact, during the 13th Black Crusade story, which, by the way, lasted forever, the Imperium actually went to the orcs in the nearby empire. Like, there were two nearby empires that were duking it out, and the Imperium was like, "Hey, if we help like either one of you beat the other, there's like a really big chaos invasion that would be like 1,000,000 times better to fight, right?" These orcs said no. because the fight against their own kind was way more fun than fighting chaos to them. Because they were having a good, proper smackdown. So, like, there's no rationally reasoning with orks. It's impossible. They are either too... What's up?
No, I was just thinking, I gotta find this picture of this kit bashed orc flyer that one of the guys at my local game store had a few years back.
Okay.
Like he kit bashed this orc. He took like one of the Necron scythes or whatever. The
Necron Doom scythes.
Yeah, he took a Doom scythe and he like kit bashed with some orc parts, and I'm just like, I'm no physicist, but I'm pretty sure it's not aerodynamic.
I'm not a physicist, but I'm pretty sure that's bullshit.
Yeah, but then this is before I knew that orcs just make things work.
Yeah, it's like a special energy field of belief that they have around them that, like, the more orcs you gather around, the more stuff that works.
Well, okay, while I'm looking for that, I got a question for you, good sir.
What's up?
You posted a video about the Flood versus Star Trek.
Yes.
And I'm kind of curious to know, out of all the sci-fi universes you're aware of, which one would be able to beat the Flood?
So it's not a question of if they can beat it. It's a question if you can catch it in time.
Okay.
When a flood outbreak gets really, really, really bad, it is usually a apocalyptic event. You gotta remember, back in Halo 2, Halo 1, 2, and 3 take place over the course of 3 months. Halo 1 takes the span over 3 days. A lot of people don't know that, and that's fine. Halo 2 takes place over 2 weeks. Halo 3 takes the place over the entire month of November. So, in Halo 2, the Flood take over High Charity. High Charity is the Covenant Holy City, and that city was as big as Jupiter's biggest moon. Which is huge, by the way. The Flood overran that thing within a day. Now, granted, there's a lot of circumstance behind that takeover. Like, one, there was already a civil war going on, so no one had the proper tools to stop it. There was tons of corpses all over the place that the Flood could just infect. And 3, they came in through slip space, which basically is just they teleported onto the ship. And then they just kind of spread out. And so...
Okay.
In Halo 1, you see... Basically, in the different Halo games, you see the different stages of a flood outbreak. Stage 1 is the feral stage. This is where the Flood are trying to just survive. They are trying their best to gather as much resources as possible to start a grave mine. Which then, when they have enough resources, i.e. biomass, they go into the coordinated stage. The coordinated stage is where they start getting smarter, they start getting better. They start using more and more weapons against you. They start learning how to use your vehicles. They start learning how to use your ships. They start learning how to subvert you. And then there is the grave mine stage. This is where they have a full-on biological supercomputer. And this thing is so smart because it retains the memories of all other grave mines before it. So if a grave mine pops up, you're in trouble.
Right.
Because this grave mine took over High Charity, and then it could go into slip space with High Charity. So imagine a moon-sized city flying around, dropping Flood everywhere. And that's what happened in Halo 3. That thing straight up crashed on the Ark. So, like, that's how bad this can get. And then during the Forerunner trilogy, which is the original. Like this is the Forerunner Flood War, essentially. Like this is way back in the past, but like this is highly advanced civilization. The Forerunners could not stop them. The Forerunners had superior technology. They had superior firepower. They had everything that they needed. They still lost. Because the Flood were just that many and would take over their ships. They would take over their AI. And they would take over anything they could get their hands on. When you are talking about fighting the Flood, it is not a idea of defeating them. It's an idea of containing them. Because if a Flood gets on a ship, you've lost it. That thing is gone. You will never find it until it finds you. Like, there's a short story in a Halo book called Halo Evolutions. And it's this Forerunner painter who's trying to get, like, this perfect depiction of a sunset down. And she sees a ship crash down. And then it's just a wave of flood. And it's terrifying. It's sort of a situation, like, this is where I say, like, you need to catch it early to beat it. If you can catch the Flood in the feral stage, you're fine. As long as you keep it contained to a small area, and then you bombard the shit out of that area. And then you send in kill teams to go in and root out any Flood that's left. That is how you stop a Flood outbreak before it spreads. Because people are like, well, then what about Halo 3? What happened to the Flood in Halo 3? Didn't we kill them? No, we didn't. The Flood are trapped on the Ark. Well, that Flood outbreak at least. They're trapped on the Ark. And if you watch my playthrough of Awakening the Nightmare, that tells the entire story of that Flood outbreak and how the Banished defeat the Flood just to... Like, they don't actually defeat it. They just... They managed to force it back into High Charity and allow the Sentinel defenses to rebuild the shield.
It. Okay. Yeah. Okay, because I was about to say, because I just started getting into, like, some of this, Halo Infinite's coming out, and
it's good.
I realized I missed a lot of stuff from the Halo Wars games, because I never finished the first one and never played the second one, so I started watching these cutscenes, and all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, Halo Wars 2, they're on the Ark, and then you're saying there was a Flood outbreak there, and my brain was like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing the Flood during that, well, from the little bit that I was watching so far.
Yeah, so Halo Wars 1 actually shows a very good depiction of what happens to a planet when the Flood are on it. And it doesn't stop the outbreak. It's barren. Everything is Flood. And, like, the Flood is not also just an infection form. It's a cell. And people are like, well, we can create cures, right? No. No, you can't. There's no cure for it. And people are like, well, they said they created a cure in, like, Halo 4, right? That's because the librarian didn't know what happened. She assumed there was a cure. But that was a Flood trick. Because the Flood just selectively didn't infect a few people to bring hope to the people they were trying to infect. Because
That's sneaky.
Yeah, it's sneaky. It's subversive. That's what they do. The Flood, and as well as that, like, the greatest AI the Forerunners could ever create, mendicant bias.
Yep.
This thing is a superclass AI. Like, it could plan out how to make a civilization last for millions of years without a problem. So long as that civilization followed its plan to the letter. It had... In record of how an AI works is that they live thousands of years for every minute that we live. So imagine this super AI talking to a grave mind for an extended period of time.
Oh, jeez.
Mendicant bias was convinced by the grave mind that the Flood is the natural endpoint of all life.
Ooh.
And so the Great Mind then asked him, why stop us? We are the natural endpoint. We are what all life will eventually become. So then Mendicant Bias betrayed his creators and started working with the Flood. I'm sorry. A lot of people went, fucking excuse me? And, like, this is where, like, people in Star Trek, like, when people are like, well, they could just do this and that, and I'm like, no, you can't.
I gotta feel it, man. I'm just imagining a conversation between like Gravemind and Data now, just like
Data would be subverted within a goddamn nanosecond.
exactly. Like, I'm just imagining, just like all of a sudden, like immediately within like 5 seconds, Data just turns around and phases Picard right in the chest on full blast.
Oh, he doesn't phaser Picard. He gives Picard to the Gravemind, and then the Gravemind infects him. And as people are like, well, like, you just remove the infection form and it's fine, right? No, it's not. It's never okay. Because you're forgetting that it's an infection.
Yep.
It doesn't stop at that. It doesn't... The Flood infect your spinal cord. They infect your nervous system. And they leave a supercell inside you. There is the short story called The Mona Lisa, which is basically a story about how a UNSC Marine group gets stuck aboard a prisoner ship that was sent to the Halo ring from Halo 1 because under the direction of Oni, they wanted to learn how to use the Flood as a weapon. As you fucking do, humanity. Good job. Anyway, so one of those Marines gets cut by a Flood gets cut by a Flood combat form.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly they are infected over the course of the short story until they bite into a Marine's neck.
Ugh.
Yeah, so imagine that shit. By the way, fully, it's a comic book animated video on YouTube as well. You can watch it there. It's really good. There's an elite in it, and I love him. But yeah, like, so it's that situation of the Flood just don't stop. And we kind of don't know what their ultimate end goal is.
I'm hoping that we come across that in Halo Infinite.
We probably won't, because if they were going to show the Flood... Well, actually, no, because if they wanted to keep the Flood a secret, they would keep it a secret. But the actual interesting thing is about the Halo ring we'll be fighting on in Halo Infinite. That's Installation 07. That's the installation where the original Gravemind was held, and that's Mendicant Bias's home.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where Mendicant Bias got corrupted.
Yeah, because I've been like starting to watch like all these lore videos and everything, just trying to get caught up with everything.
Yeah, so like it's gonna be heavy with what we find in there. Hopefully.
Ooh, I hope so.
I'm very excited for it. But yeah, like when it comes to defeating the Flood, do not go in it thinking that you can beat them. We've tried that. Also, Dragon Merchant, thank you for the follow. Never go in thinking beat the Flood. Think about containing them, and then think about what to do with them after the fact. Because the Forerunners, they tried to go the defeat route, and look what happened to them. There's
a person.
There is no cure for the Flood. You have to accept it.
But what? Okay.
There is no way of, like, because someone said, like, well, you can just cure it, right? I'm like, no, you can't.
Okay, well, given that, well, they vamped a little bit after I said hello to them.
Aww.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, so given the new parameters that you've given me,
Yes.
which universe do you think would be best at containing the Flood?
Which universe would be best at containing it? Ooh, that is a good question. All right, so the best universe at containing it is, in my opinion, Not 40K because everyone's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Not Star Trek because, again, humanity. Ooh.
See, at first I thought 40K, but then because I thought maybe you could just throw the Tyranids at them, but then I just realized that would be bad.
If a
Because
single flood infection form makes it into the gene pool for the Tyranids, that's
Yeah.
that Tyranid galactic threat just became flood.
Yeah, exactly. It's like now it's flood with like Tyranid abilities, and it's just like so much worse.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't do it. But what would be good to stop an outbreak? Which universe? Stargate? I don't know anything about Halo. Not Stargate.
Yeah.
You know, that's an actually good question because like Halo did a good because like the only way to stop the flood is to starve them to death. And even
Right.
then they didn't do that very well because they took specimens. So like I could say that any sci-fi universe has a chance so long as they understood what they were dealing with. Like
I got a feeling that Stargate would not be good at that at all, just because of the fact of the way humanity is in that.
I've never watched Stargate, so like I have no idea.
Like, I mean,
Starcraft
were
Marines
okay
have
with-
all seemingly airtight suits. It's not just an airtight suit, because in the book Halo the Flood, you still have soft spots in the armor, because you still have to be able to move around in the armor. A Flood infection form managed to cut that soft spot on the armor, on Chief's armor at least, and then try to infect him. The only reason Chief didn't get infected in that book was because Cortana rerouted the shields to create an electrical shock. Yeah, Chief nearly got infected in the books. How's that make everyone feel? The only reason he did it was because Cortana saved him. I miss you,
I
Cortana.
did not know that.
It was in Halo the Flood, which is the second book in the Halo series. And
Yeah,
it's just a retelling of the original game from a book's perspective.
Okay. Yeah, I never read the only book from the Halo book series I read was the one about the new Spartan threes, like and
Oh,
them
with
getting like yeah, and them getting like put into like the cryo sleep on that like shield world or
Ghost of
whatever.
Onyx.
Ghost of Onyx, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good book. Oh my god. I mean, John 117 is the top dog Spartan for one reason. He was the lucky one. Yeah. I question how lucky he is.
He was the blue orc boy of the Spartans.
But yeah, so the flood, like I said, it just depends on if you can catch it in the feral stage. Like,
Yeah.
even in Halo with New Mombasa in the Halo universe is the, what's that one city called here in our world? What's that one? Chernobyl. No, that's the name of the reactor. Either way, same.
Pripyat.
Yeah, Pripyat. So, in Halo, after Halo 3, the city where the flood landed in, and where the elites basically glassed that continent, that's treated as Chernobyl, basically. No one's allowed to enter the city of Voy. It is considered ground zero, don't go near. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, that's because that's where the Ark portal is, right? That's why we can't go near there. Not just that. It's because Oni is worried that there still might be flood infection out there, so they're keeping it contained. And fun fact, they also sent in the ODST squad from Halo 3 ODST in to go see if there were any flood infection forms, like left.
Mm-hmm.
And then report back if there were. The response was, we didn't see anything, but it still felt really off. Like, even with them, they were not happy to go there, and they were worried. That's how bad that shit was. So yeah, like, when it comes to like which sci-fi universe can stop the flood reliably, I don't have an answer for you. Because...
That's a bit of a thinker. That's definitely a bit of a thinker, especially if you don't know a lot about like a lot of other properties and stuff like that.
Pretty much. And the problem then stems from the fact is that we kind of saw what a flood outbreak looks like at like what we thought was the worst stage of it, which was near the end of the Forerunner Flood War. And it kind of got dumb in the books because they just said, oh well, like they figured out like how to start warping reality, and I'm like, okay, this has gotten out of hand. Like, what do you say to a race, well, to a infection that is so powerful that they just say, yeah, that moon don't exist anymore. I have moved it into a sun. How? By the power of bullshit. How possible is it for a flood to survive a whole planet glassing? They will not survive. So surprisingly, the Covenant are the most effective military force to take on the flood. So long as they don't land any troops. So at the end of Halo 2, the elite fleet that survived the Great Schism, they stayed behind and glassed that Halo ring for a week. They stayed behind and glassed that thing for a week because the flood infection got so bad on the ring. They glassed everything up and down the ring, making sure that nothing on the surface was left. Because Zerg might absorb it? No. You don't absorb flood absorb you. Remember, Supercell. Stupid as shit. But we did figure something out. And guess who it's thanks to? Sergeant Avery motherfucking Johnson. You see, boys, girls, and non-binary pals, Johnson is one of the original Spartans. He was a part of Project Orion, which was the very first Spartan project. Now, it was a failure because, like, you create super soldiers, people are stupid. But
was it because there was like a high like rejection rate of the augments and stuff like that, the adults?
Yep, pretty much. But thanks to thanks to those procedures, Johnson is technically immune to the flood. Because in a short comic that was released, by the way, as a special thing for like Halo 2, there is a story about how Johnson escaped the flood in that section of the game. And as he put it in Halo First Strike, I guess the things just don't have a taste for me. Johnson's nervous system is fucked. It works, surprisingly, but the flood struggled to get a hold on him. So he just tore it off of him and then he shot it, thinking nothing of it. Which I'm just like, excuse me, what? So Chief also finds out about this and like goes to like kill Johnson, but Cortana tells him don't because he's right, he's not infected, which is strange to her. And it's not till later when they get back to Reach and manage to reunite with Halsey and the other Spartans, where Halsey learns through scanning Johnson that no, the flood supercell is still inside him. No, so okay, I need to explain some things here, but let me finish. So Johnson is immune to the flood, and so she gives John two flash drives, and lets him decide Do you tell Oni that Johnson's immune, so they just tear him apart for a chance to make our soldiers immune? Or do you make sure that Johnson stays in the fight, so that way we have a really good field commander still? Because there's not many people like Johnson around. And this is something that I need to explain. There are 4 Spartan programs. There is Orion, which was the first one. Then there was the Spartan 2, Spartan 3, and Spartan 4. The original Orion program was experimental stuff. It was basically just throwing experimental drugs and surgeries at the wall to see what stuck. To make super soldiers. And that project was a failure. They called it a failure. And so they moved on. They moved on from that. Halsey's Spartan 2 project was a total refinement of how that process worked. Spartan 2s are not Spartan 1s. And that process still killed half of the initiates. Orion killed I think it was either 75 or 85%. A lot of people didn't survive Orion. But, so, what else happened? So, after that shit show, one of Halsey's rivals created the Spartan 3 project, which was supposed to make cheaper, more affordable Spartans, but instead of kidnapping,
Yeah, that douchebag.
yeah, so instead of kidnapping children, they just took orphans, because you can't kidnap an orphan, they weren't wanted in the first place.
Oh, that's so horrible.
Well, that's a Dragon Ball Z abridged joke, by the way. That's not mine.
Right, I completely forgot about that.
And by the way, if you are an orphan, I am very sorry. But, so, that's what Spartan 3s are. They're just cheaper Spartan 2s. They're still really good, but...
They're the GoBots of Spartans.
Yeah, so, like, they say it best in, one of the Halo books. Spartan 3s were made to die.
Yep. I think that was Ghost of Onyx, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Ghost of Onyx. It was a book focusing on Blue Team.
Oh, okay.
Well, not even Blue Team. It was focusing on Fred, which Fred's a good character. But yeah, like that was horrible. What the fucking AI said to the Forerunner robot is just like, Spartan 3s were made to die. Thanks, asshole. But yeah, then there were Spartan 4s, which are just made from adult volunteers. Well, okay, you have to be a Marine or ODST of exceptional skill to be offered a position in the Spartans. And then you're basically, if you read Halo New Blood, you get, like, the full picture of it and, like, how bad that training is. Because Buck, who is now a Spartan, by the way, he basically said it was, like, relearning how to be a person and having to move. Like, it was relearning how to use your body.
Yeah, I mean, come on, there was, like, that one story where John ended up, like, freaking accidentally pasting the boxing ring with those ODST soldiers.
Yep. By the way, there's a really funny... So, there was a Halo comic called Halo Helljumper, which focused on Romeo and Dutch before they joined Alpha 9, which is the ODST group from Halo 3 ODST. And that book is funny because it opens up with Romeo flapping his goddamn lips. And it's because they're talking about that moment in Halo The Fall of Reach where Chief beat the shit out of all those ODSTs. And the ODST he's talking to is recounting the story. And you wonder how Romeo responds to him? Ha! Your best friend got the shit kicked out of him by a cranky kid. is a little shit, and I love him. But yeah, like ODST, the Spartan 4s are basically the. If Spartan 3s were the cheaper version of Spartans, Spartan 4s are discount Spartans. Because you can't do the same things that Romeo can really rub salt in your wounds. Yes, he can, and he's great. Oh my god. Could you have an AI commander? To my knowledge, you could flash clone Johnson a few times and make AI out of them. I believe they did that with Halsey. Okay, so flash clones are not stable. When they kidnapped the Spartan 2 kids, they replaced them with flash clones with the expectation that they would die because flash clones are not stable. They will basically mutate a genetic disease and then die off. That was the beauty of it, because then, hey, so John and all the other Spartans are dead, so they don't have to, so their parents don't have to mourn very often. Fat load of good it did them. So, when you are creating an artificial intelligence in Halo, there are two versions of them. There's the dumb AI, which is basically just like the computer programmed AI. Like the like Virgil from Halo ODST. Then there's the smart AI, which is cloned from a human brain. It's a very hard project to get into when you create a AI, because your brain has to be of a specific make and specific intelligence in order to be used to create an AI. And they prefer if you're dead. Halsey kind of broke the rules, where she cloned an AI of herself, which is Cortana and Deja, and created Cortana. And there's a whole process about it, and they talk about it in Halsey's journal. Also, I'm going to take my sweater off. I am sweating up. I'm sweating like a storm. Boom. So yeah, when it comes to Halsey, when it comes to creating an AI, it's not just like, oh, well, I can just clone a brain. No, it's a whole process. Halsey did because Halsey is bullshit.
Yeah. Yep.
Take that
That's
energy.
like the best phrase to describe, like, almost like a good portion of the beginning, like, war of the USNC and the Spartan program. See, is bullshit.
Yeah, so, so, like, it's very hard to create an AI. And then you have to decide, like, what's that AI gonna do? I heard that the AI destroys the brain, and Halsey used clone brains of herself. No, she did not. And it doesn't destroy the brain. They just take the brain out of the body and then shock it enough so that way it has brain patterns again, and then copy that person onto an AI, and then they just kind of throw the brain away. It doesn't destroy the brain, and I don't think she cloned it. But then again, I am running off memory here. I could be wrong. Shit. Come on, I just want you to be glued. Yellow bitch. But yeah, like, actually, yeah, I can look that up. We have the power of the internet on our side. We're not dumb cavemen bashing rocks together. Did Halsey clone her brain? Halsey broke both civilian and military law and created clones of herself. Nope! I am wrong. She did. She did clone herself. Oopsie daisies. And that's why you look, kids. That's why you research what you're talking about. Oh, I see the level 5 hype train emote. Hell yeah, dude! Sorry, I'm just looking all over the place. But yeah, so when you are talking about Halo, There's a lot of shit. So yeah, Halsey did clone her brain. That's my B. She did. And then she did a crime, basically. Halsey did a lot of crime.
Yeah, so say, but you gotta be more specific there, bud.
Yeah, you gotta be more specific there. What about, like, the time she kidnapped children? What about the time that she, artificially, like, she did human experimentation, which is illegal? Like, what else? What
Surgery
crime?
on children.
Now, I also feel for Halsey because, like, she's kind of right in a way. Like, her actions are justified in the end. But at the same time, her story kind of fucking sucks for her. Because her entire thing is that she gets blamed for everything Oni told her to do. Yes, she may have been the one to do the actions, but Oni is also responsible. And they got away with it scot-free. And there is if any of you remember Commander Palmer, by the way, she does get better. She really does get better. Please give her a chance. Like, in Halo Initiation, she is fucking insufferable in that comic series. Escalation, not Initiation. So, essentially, she hates Halsey because of the crimes that she committed. Because Oni released that information. And so, at one point, Halsey and her get stranded, and she's just kind of, like, laying into Halsey, like, you're a monster, you're all this kind of bad shit, and, like, you brought disgrace to the Spartan name and honor. And that's where Halsey just snaps at her, turns around, and says, that armor and Spartans wouldn't fucking exist without me. You can't have it both ways. Okay, so 2 problems so far with AI Commander Johnson. 1, illegal. 2, he might not be suited for being made into an AI. No, he's not. He's not suited for it. I love Johnson, but I'm going to tell you right now, he was not a tech genius. If you read Contact Harvest, which is basically Johnson being a badass, the book, he's not very intelligent, but, well, okay. So he is intelligent when it comes to, like, military strategy and thinking stuff through, i.e. Halo Silent Storm and so on and so forth. He's not tech smart. He's really good. He's just not a computer nerd. Oh my god. There's actually a really good moment in the Halo book Silent Storm, because, like, it's early into the war. Like, the Spartans are just... Everybody's just kind of getting used to the Spartans being around. And Johnson is called in to train the Spartans a little bit. Because, like, he's a bit unorthodox. And so he runs them through drills along with ODSTs. And so the ODSTs are routinely getting their ass kicked because they're still following, like, standard protocol and training. Johnson says, okay, that's 10 rounds of the Spartans kicking your ass. My turn. And he starts leading the ODSTs. And the Spartans are like, oh, well, he's just in the ODST. This will be fine. Spartans go 10-100.
Oh, Jesus.
Johnson kicked the Spartans' ass up and down the goddamn ship. It was great. And so, like, Chief is, like, bewildered because he doesn't know what the hell just happened. And Johnson said, I know how to lead, and I know how to adapt. I learned how to break you. You need to start learning how to do that. Johnson's just such a cool character, dude.
My favorite quote from Johnson is from, was it Halo 1? Or it's either Halo 1 or Halo 2, where it's like, you know, for a brick, he flew pretty good.
That's Halo 2.
I love that. That's like my favorite line.
It's a lot of people's favorite line. My favorite line is just, thanks for the tank. He doesn't get me anything. Oh,
yeah,
I know what
I forgot about that one.
With Oni telling Halsey to do illegal things, what would have happened if she said no? what do you think happens in America when you say no to the CIA? That's what happens. Say hello to your personal CIA agent for me. They'll be seeing you real soon. Oh my god. Halo lore is just so deep.
It's like, you just blink, hey, where's Halsey? She was here a minute ago.
Oh yeah, now she's fucking dead. But, well, no, she's not dead currently in canon. She's still alive. Well, we don't actually know her status. But, I am currently reading Halo Divine Wind. And that focuses on a Covenant splinter group known as, what are they called? What are they called again? The Keepers of the One Truth. There we go. They're a brute faction, and I love brutes. Brutes are cool. First off, it's personal FBI agent, and yes. But yeah, I'm reading that book currently and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But yeah, so Halo is a really good series. Please fucking read it. My god, you'd make me such a happy boy if you did. What else? Anyone have any questions they want to ask at all? Because, like, I got, like, another 80 minutes to kill. Well, 40 minutes. I'm not American, but it does sound like Halsey is called a monster as a Yes! Yes! She's a political scapegoat. Because Oni is very good at washing their hands. Because she's a rogue operative. She was doing it on her own. We're not guilty of anything she committed. What about, like, all those fires that were coming out of your office? Not related. I cannot remember all 18 Primarchs' names. What colors are your units? Okay, I'm going to do Aramis first. Actually, no, I'm going to do Dragon Merchant first, because that's fast. I paint my Orcs Goth Clan, so that's black and white. And green. For my Space Marines, I paint them in these colors. Silver, gold, blue, and red. For my Chaos Space Marines, I paint them in lead silver, black, and red. Are you seeing a pattern? And for my Thousand Suns, this isn't done, but like it's a good example. So I paint them in Balthazar gold, and then the lead. And then, like, I add in blue detail. Oni is basically run by demons. You assume them to be demons.
Oh, hey, it's the demon boy from the kit that I used to have.
But yeah, there's also this one, which is my best model in my opinion. This is my Acid Dragoon color scheme. We got gray with the dark green with red and white kind of a thing with the with lead silver again. I think we need more Slanesh Korlov. You got Slanesh Korlov last edition. They were broken last edition. Please, God, stop. Okay, and now for the 18 Primarchs. There is Lionel, Fulgrim, Perturabo, Jagatai Khan, Leman Russ, Gulliman, Dorn, Mortarion, Horus, Lorgar. We got 8 more. Korax, Vulcan, Lorgar, Conrad Kurz. 4 more. Come on. Come on, brain. Jagatai Khan. Wait, did I say Jagatai? Did I say Jagatai?
I think so. Well, you did now, at least.
Okay, I said Lehman. Ferrus Manus. I almost forgot Ferrus. Magnus. And Sanguinius. There we go. I did it. I named them all. I deserve a reward. I deserve head pats. Not a rock. Thank you for the subscribe. Babe. Babe. Phoenix.
What?
Can you come here?
Not right now.
Okay, never mind. Just a reminder, Sanguinius is a boomer. I will not be taking questions. You stole that from me. Aw, 1 point equals head pat. Aw, thank you, Aaron. That's so nice of you. But yeah, so thank you for showing the love. But Zinch, Angron, Sanguinius, thank you, announcer. Just remind. So yeah, any other questions anyone has? If anyone is interested, I'm very, very willing to answer or try to.
I'd try to come up with one for you, but I'm just working on homework while we're sitting
Nah,
here.
you are fine. Hello.
Hi, sorry. I just got out of the shower.
Can I have head pat?
Yes.
I did a good.
Ooh, I see that. You did very good.
Well, not that good. I named all 18 Primarchs without a guide or anything here. So, like, I just...
Well, yeah, but that's your fucking autism brain memory.
Chat says hello.
Hi.
Okay, you can go. I love you.
Okay,
Hello, 911. I'd like to report a murder.
I'm talking with someone in chat right now, and they just said, hello, 911. I'd like to report a murder. I love you.
I love you.
I'm marrying that. What did Magnus do that was so wrong? We're gonna start with clockwork. We're gonna start with that one. Okay, Cliff Notes version. 1. He completely disregarded any advice from anyone because, and I quote, I know everything, so everything is fine. Number 2, he totally disregarded anybody's warnings, including his two most trusted brothers, i.e. Perturabo and Jagatai Khan, who both told him, don't take more than you need. Number 3, he kept fucking with warp shit when he was told not to fuck with it. Number 4, he made a deal with the literal goddamn devil. I.e., that's why he's called a Cyclops. He made a deal where he gave up his eye. Number 5, he proceeded to lie to the Emperor to his fucking face during a trial, telling a story about the men in the cave, where the men in the cave, in his version, gave up the ignorance and went out in to see the sun. But in the original story, he got his ass beaten to death. Number 6, abusing the scribes. Like the people that were sent to record the history of the Thousand Sons. He turned one into a makeshift typewriter for him. Number 7, instead of listening to the Emperor and not warning Horus by using psychic powers, which, by the way, caused Horus to fall, i.e., part of Horus falling is Magnus's fault. He totally just caused all the problems. Number 8, he doubled down. So there's like a pile of corpses sitting in front of him with Ahriman going, sir, why don't we stop? We already have 1,000 dead initiates in here. It smells. It's terrible. There's blood all over the goddamn place. Can we just get on a ship and go warn Dad the other way? Magnus said, no, I'm going to try again. So he psychically sends himself into the warp. Follow me on this one. And he gets stopped by the psychic wards that the Emperor has set up to protect the Webway project. That no one knows about, by the way, so you can claim ignorance on him. You can claim that he didn't know about that one. But instead of just saying, okay, that didn't work, let's just get on a ship and go tell Dad. No. He tries to blow up the wall. It fails. Zinch pops up, the same devil he made a deal with. And Zinch is like, hey, buddy, I can give you the power to get through the wall. What does he do? Chat, what does he do? Tell me, like, three guesses. A, he says no and go warns Dad the correct way. B, he eats a sandwich. Or C, he blows up the wall. Literally play out Plato's allegory of the cave. Yes. He makes the deal. Dragon Merchant, I appreciate you so much. Yes, he blows up the wall, which then leads to demons invading the Imperial Palace and the Webray project being ruined. Number 10. Instead of admitting his faults, he goes into his tower and sulks like a bitch. Number 11. Lehman Russ comes with a force to arrest Magnus and tries to contact him, asking him what the fuck happened. Magnus does not respond. Number 12. Magnus doesn't tell his sons what's going on, leading them to try and defend themselves from an attack they never saw coming. Number 13. He makes another deal with the devil to save his sons. That is the folly of Magnus. I will not be taking questions on that. Roboot, he did.
Wait, what was the last one?
He made one last deal with the devil to save his sons.
Oh yeah, that one.
So yeah, Magnus is fucked. Anyway, what was the other question that we had? Which ones died in the heresy and which ones didn't? Okay, so to our knowledge, only 4 Primarchs are dead. There is Horus and Conrad for the traitors, and Sanguinius and Ferrus Manus for the loyalists. I think Zinch is the Chaos God I know the least about. Yeah, he's kind of a fucker, but yeah, so Ferrus died at the beginning of the heresy, Horus and Sanguinius died at the end of it, and Conrad died sometime after it.
And isn't there like some thing about Alfarius where it's just he may or may not be alive?
Well, actually no, 5 Primarchs.
No.
Sorry, 5 Primarchs are dead. Alfarius is confirmed to be dead.
Oh, okay. Because there's this whole. I remember back when I was last into the war, it was this whole thing where it's just kind of it may be him, maybe somebody pretending to be him.
So in the actual lore, Alfarius goes to Pluto to go sabotage stations there that would be an early alert system. Rogel Dorn meets him in battle there because they find out about it, and basically it's kind of a funny book because every time because the Primarchs know instinctively where each other are. It's weird. So Rogel Dorn just instinctively knows that each soldier that's throwing themselves in front of him saying, I am Alfarius. He's like, no, you're fucking not. And just cuts them down. And then he cuts his way to Alfarius and then challenges him to a duel. Now, no, Rogel loses this duel. He's about to get skewered by Alfarius until the communications officer that's in charge of the station who's dying finds a weak point in Alfarius' armor and rams a Custodi spear through his back, which then allows Rogel Dorn to get back up and cut off his head. And everyone's like, oh, well, it's probably just another fake. No. We get a chapter of Omegon feeling the death of Alfarius and going, oh shit. He's actually dead. And then the end of the book, Horus contacts Omegon thinking he's Alfarius and asks how's the battle going. And Omegon tells Horus that they lost and that he is returning with his forces and so on and so forth. So Omegon takes on the role of Alpharius. So, yeah. Alpharius is dead by canon.
Okay, I did not know that.
That is in the Horus Heresy book, Praetorian of Dorn. It is a long, long book, and I find Imperial Fist stories to be boring as sin. To be fair, though, Dark Angels books are also boring as sin.
I feel personally attacked by that statement, but go on.
I love Dark Angel. I love the Dark Angels Legion. I feel like I'm attacking myself.
Right.
My two favorite books though is what's the book? Why am I forgetting it? Angel Exterminatus, and what was the one with Lionel Johnson and Conrad Kurz in it? I'm gonna look it up quick. Hold on. Lion L. Johnson books. Angels of Caliban. That book is one of the very few Dark Angels books that are actually good. So, Angel Exterminatus is just Iron Warriors and Emperor's Children, The Road Trip, which you never thought would come out of anyone's mouth, but it has, and it's great. God, why am I forgetting its name now? Why did I forget its name? Why did I forget its name? Angels of Caliban, is basically Conrad Kurz and Lionel Johnson's final battle. Do orcs have to make the motorcycles sound to make them run? No. No.
I don't know.
What
I
is...
like to imagine that they do, though.
What is the Blood Angel's Rage? That is the Black Rage, which was created after Sanguinius died because it was a psychic backlash. So, like, when a Blood Angel... So, Blood Angels have two flaws in them. There's the Red Thirst, which makes them vampires. And, the Black Rage, which is basically them reliving the final moments of either a Blood Angel during the Horus Heresy, during the Battle of Terra, or reliving the death of Sanguinius. It is a horrible fucking thing to happen to people. And to explain it from what Sergeant Raffin said in the Blood Angels series, is that he felt like he was constantly under attack by everyone. That he felt like he was Sanguinius at the moment where he was going to die. And so, like, stretch out that death by agonizing minutes, or hours, or days, or weeks, or months, or years. That is the Black Rage. Now, we only know two people who ever came back from that, and that's Sergeant Raffin from the books, and Mephiston, who is the chief librarian of the Blood Angels. Which, by the way, Dante himself is worried about Mephiston. That's really messed up for them. Do they still make Blood Angels initiates? Yes. Here's the thing. They are still loyal. They just keep it a secret. Because they know if anyone found out, they would be annihilated. It was actually a worry of Sanguinius back in the books. That, like, if the Emperor found out, he would just kill the Blood Angels off. Which is something that Sanguinius didn't want to happen. There's a lot. There's a lot of things in 40k. Though, the Blood Angels had one of the really cool captains, and this was the guy that would go to found the Flesh Terrors. This guy was, like, the most vicious bastard in all of the Blood Angels legions. Like, even Karn was like, yeah, no, I'm not getting in a ring with him. And this is Karn. Y'all know Karn. And this guy, I'm gonna tell you the brass balls on this man. When the Emperor banned Psychers from the Space Marine Legions, like you can't use librarians anymore, he told any Blood Angels librarian that if your company starts giving you shit, you're welcome in my company. Like, no complaints, no nothing. You just come to my company, tell me what's happened, and you're a part of my company. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just to stick it to the Emperor, kind of a thing. Like, this guy was rebellious. And then, after the heresy, he survived. And he was shown the Codex Astartes. You wanna know what he said about that? He said that was the dumbest idea I've ever heard. He then got sucker punched by a Ultramarines captain who told him, speak to your superiors with respect. And he said, this is the stupidest idea I've ever heard, my lord. Because he's got to get that sass streak in there, right? He's also, like, a really tragic figure because, like, he has one of the most depressing relics of the Blood Angels. And it's a single feather of Sanguinius that is suspended in, like, suspended animation. And it's the only feather to never touch the ground. And he kept it on him. And I'm like, ah! Blood Angels are cool. I just hate their goddamn Primarch. Yes, the glorious Hawkboy, I don't like him that much. Like, he's a boring piss baby, and, like, he bores the crap out of me. Anyway. My favorite book in the Horus Heresy is Angel Exterminatus, because it's just the Emperor's Children and Iron Warriors having a road trip. And that's, like, the best way to sum it up. And it's just so funny watching the Iron Warriors react to the bullshit of the Emperor's Children. I know they're transhuman or whatever, but isn't the Emperor meant to be so charismatic that everyone does what he says? Okay, so yes and no. The Emperor himself uses psychic abilities to influence people. It's heavily implied Emperor became a chaos god because humanity. Kind of, yes. It's complicated. It's a complicated explanation. So it is highly implied in the book's Thousand Sons, and even in the Emperor's own book, that the form he takes is just so people can understand what the hell he is. The Emperor has taken on many forms throughout his entire life. He uses, as Malkador, his right-hand man, suggested, the Emperor is not as charismatic as you think he is. He's very smart. He is very charismatic, but, like, he uses psychic powers to cheat, kind of a thing. It's kind of why he didn't like seeing himself as a god, because he knew he wasn't. He just was a very powerful psyker. Now, at the same time, like, I'm sorry, you crushed a mountain in your goddamn hand. Isn't that what a god can do? Well, technically, yeah. But, it's very hard to explain, because we don't really know that much about him. Like, the books that we have are his own book, which is basically just him dealing with the Webway. A account from Malkador, the Thousand Sons book. Do you think the Tau Ethereals are somewhat like the Emperor? No, they are not. They are not psychically gifted. It's confirmed in the Tau books that they use pheromones. Yeah, that's right. Your boys are controlled by simp gas. How does that make you feel?
Fucking simp ass.
They're simping hard for their ethereals.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like, Tau ethereals are not like the Emperor. They are just... Think prophets from Halo. That kind of thing. They speak real good. They're very smart. They have pheromone sacs. By the way, back in Halo, you want to know what the most sexy race was? Back during the time of the Forerunners? I'm going to give you a guess. It was the prophets. It was the Wormy Boys.
Oh god.
They were considered the most eligible bachelors and bachelorettes.
Oh,
Forerunners and ancient humans talked about, yeah, I'd plow that.
oh no.
So imagine that, boys and girls. Back in the day, truth and mercy and regret, those old fucks, would be looked at with swooning eyes.
Just come up to them and look at that. Hey, yo, what that neck do?
Hey, yo, how far that neck go?
God.
As long as it doesn't come out their butt. Look, to be fair, we haven't seen what a young prophet looks like. We have. They don't look much different. But then again, different strokes for different folks. But so back to 40K. The Tau are not psychically gifted enough to have a presence in the warp that is beyond just like... So I'm going to compare this like snacks. So like for a demon, a Tau soul in the warp is like maybe a cracker. Like half a cracker at best. Not very nutritious, not very tasty. A human soul, in comparison, is like a cheeseburger. Yes. Okay, chat. Don't be horny for prophets, please. Don't be horny for 40K either, please, God. I get enough of that from my friends. I don't need it from chat. No, please. Please, I'm begging. Don't do it. Don't do it. I will get violent. Please don't. I'm begging. I'm on my knees. Don't do it.
That's an unfortunate position to be in these circumstances.
No. Do not make
Okay,
Papa Nurgle sexy. Begin to no. It's the time of the Forerunners was worm hentai super popular. Why? Why is my chat horny on main? Ah, shit.
That's super
What have I done? What have I done? Why did I say? Why did I tell you this forbidden? Oh no, I know exactly why. Because I wanted you all to suffer with me, but every time I try that, you all make me suffer more. God, why do I do things?
You're sitting there like, oh, yes, this is the deep pain I have, and as the chat starts talking, you're like, oh, great, it gets worse.
We're all horny on main. I'm not horny on main. What the hell? Listen, like, I had an explicit sex scene in fucking Legion. I don't need it here. We do this because we are the mirror of your sin. Inner peace. Inner peace. Inner peace. They can't hurt you if you don't look at them.
You know, I just had this image in my head of your BBEG and Dave the Minion dealing with the rest of the minions like this. Like, why are the minions horny?
Dave, Dave, what is it, boss? What is it, boss? The minions are acting horny on me. That's great, boss. What are you doing? Nothing.
Oh, oh.
Proof that Slanesh is the most powerful kid. Yes, actually! I hope you all don't get more thirsty than this, but I do need to explain something about Slanesh. Slanesh, out of all the Chaos Gods, has the potential of becoming the most powerful Chaos God, depending on certain scenarios. Because Slanesh is the extreme. They are extreme of hedonistic pleasures. I.e., it is very easy for someone to fall to Slanesh because Slanesh is so goddamn subversive. Because Slanesh is telling you not to be ashamed of yourself. And that is so tempting. So, essentially, imagine that you create a steak. Like, you make a steak. It's really good. It's really tasty. It's a really good steak. And then you want to perfect it. Like, you want to make it better. So you do. Slanesh will slowly ever twist the dial. I.e., you can make it better. It's not perfect yet. You should do this. You should do that. Why don't you add some human blood to it? That might make it better. Continue process until you're just a cannibal. Also, Slanesh followers multiply fastest. If that's a sex joke, I appreciate you, but fuck. But yeah, like, Slanesh is very subversive, kind of a thing. It knows how to subvert you, and if you get way too into what you're doing, you can easily find yourself falling from Khorne to Slanesh very fast.
Isn't Celeste behind that curse that one Primarch has, where if you would get any sort of pleasure out of killing them or whatever, you become them? Like
That's not a Primarch. That's not a Primarch. That's just Lucius the Eternal.
Oh, that's just Lucius. I thought they were a Primarch for some
I
reason.
fucking hate him. He is my most hated character in 40k. Like, I thought Fabius was bad, and Fabius is terrible, but Fabius is also funny. Fabius actually made me laugh at one point, so, like, what more do you want from me? And you know who we blame Slanesh on? The Space Elves. Yes. Yep. And you know who we can blame the orcs for? We can blame the old ones, because one of them forgot to install an off switch. Hey guys, we're getting our asses kicked by those depressed nerds that turned themselves into robots. What do? Take mushroom. Give it anger issues and teeth. Perfect.
Anger issues and...
Lucius is just a bastard crown. Yeah. Oh my god. Like, he pops up in the first... Like, he's in the first 3 books of the Horus Heresy. And he is such a bastard by the end of the 3rd book. Because, like, originally, Lucius fought with the loyalists of the Traitor Legions. Yeah. Kind of a shock, ain't it? Lucius was a loyalist. And then he got corrupted and sold out everybody because glory. Because his best friend got command and he didn't. In a scenario where none of them were coming out of it alive. So, yeah, fuck him. Actually, he is a part of one of my favorite moments in the first book, and I'm gonna tell this story. So, in the first book, there's a section in the book where the Blood Angels expeditionary force lands on a planet and they lose all contact with the ground forces. So the Emperor's children come to save them, basically. led by Captain Eidolon of the First Company, as well as Saul Tarvitz and Lucius, but they're not important. So they land on the planet and find out that there is a race of spider-like aliens that can cut through power armor like it's butter. And so, as well as like this planet is nothing but plains. There's like nothing but tall grass. And so Lucius and Saul Tarvitz find a tree because they're like, oh my god, finally a landmark. The tree is made of spider poop and space brain corpses. So, like, they see like a Blood Angel space marine get impaled on this tree and then fly off to go find someone else. So Saul and Lucius order their soldiers to blow up the tree because like the tree is like disgracing their dead cousins and brothers. So they blow it up, not realizing that these trees are making the storm that's keeping them trapped there. So they blow it up, and by this time the Luna Wolves arrive and they send down a strike force to go save them. So the second company drops in and secures the landing zone. And basically spreads out, saves all the surviving Blood Angels and Emperor's Children. And Captain Tariq Torgan, who, by the way, is like the best character in the first 3 books because he's a comedian.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he comes out and says, okay, who's the officer in charge here? And Captain Eidolon comes out and says, oh, it was I. It was me. Who is the commander of this? And he's like, okay. Dressing down time. And immediately, and by the way, the Emperor's Children are called peacocks for a reason. They are glory hounds. They think they're better than everyone. And Eidolon is the worst example of them. And he's the first captain, so, like, Tariq is giving him a full dressing down. And Eidolon says, excuse me? How dare you talk to me like this? I demand your rank, soldier. Oh, I'm Captain Tariq Torgaden of the Luna Wolves Legion. You know, the second company captain, who is under the direct command of Horus Lupercal, the War Master. So in this instance, I outrank you. So maybe you should shut the fuck up, get on board my ship, and go get a dressing down from my Primarch. Or else I'll drag you on it myself. You intolerant little bastard. And so he sulks as he gets aboard the ship, and then Tariq just turns his head to the other soldiers of the Emperor's Children and says, okay, who actually blew up the goddamn tree? And all the Marines just point to Tarvitz and Lucius, and even Lucius just points to Tarvitz because he's just like, wasn't my idea. And Tariq walks up to Tarvitz and he's just like, so you're the one that blew up the tree? Yeah, but I didn't expect it to stop the storm. Okay. Is there anything else I can do for you, soldier? Sir, I would honestly love to see you give him a dressing down again. It's my favorite moment from the book because it's just so good. Also, another fascinating moment from the first book, Abaddon is also in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
I.e., War Master himself of Chaos is in the Horus Heresy, of course. But you see him as, like, a loyalist, and he's actually a fairly chill dude. In fact, the main character of the book, of the first 3 books, is Garviel Loken. He's a very stand-up boy. He's very straight and narrow. During the events of the first book, he's being sent back to a planet that they thought they conquered, but they still have, like, a form of resistance. It's a whole political thing. But, Abaddon comes up to Loken and says, hey, so Falcus Kyber of my personal squad, the Widowmakers, is offering his assistance. Would you like it? And Loken goes like, no, this is like a 10th company problem. His services will not be required. And Abaddon just goes, okay, I'll just tell him he's not needed. Like in a very like, I'm insulting you kind of way. And Loken starts freaking the fuck out because he's like, no, please don't say that to him. And Abaddon puts his hand on Loken's shoulder and says, Loken, I'm kidding. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this conversation? And it's like reading a big brother talking to his little brother. And I was fascinated by the conversation. Like, Abaddon is like such a really interesting character in the first 3 books. Because like he's talking to Loken like he's a little brother the entire time, and I love it. Plus, there's like a really good there's like a really good conversation where like Loken gets involved in a special group known as the Monorville, which is the special. It's like a special group inside the chapter, well, inside the Legion, where not Space Marine Illuminati. They're like a special council for Horus. And when you're working with Horus, your personal company doesn't have anyone to tell it what to do. So Loken has to leave someone in command while he's not with them. And so he's kind of torn up. He could choose his actual second in command, who like tradition-wise that's like a natural choice. Though Loken has his reservations, and he's like, well, he's not that good of a commander. Like, he has, like, a lot of problems, and he's, like, very much a glory hound. And then Tariq, Aximand, and Abaddon, who are also part of the Monorville, look at him and say, okay, so who's your other choice? And it's one of Loken's closest friends. He's very cool-headed. He's very strategic. He pretty much, you tell me jump, I say how high kind of guy. He's very loyal. And so Aximand, who is also known as Little Horus, basically says, then pick him. He's clearly the better choice. But what if, you are captain. Your decision stands. If you believe that this guy is a better choice, stick with that choice. Basically telling him, buddy, you're in charge for a reason. Stick to your decisions. Drink the life-given juice. Yeah, I've been drinking. This was full. All right, my boys and girls and non-binary pals. It has been a wonderful night. Holy shit. Thank you all so much for all the subscription. Like, my God. So, if you want to come into my Discord, please subscribe to my Patreon. It's $7.50 a month for just becoming a minion. If you are a minion of the month, you get to do special stuff with me, which is $10 a month. It's a one-time fee. And don't worry, Dragon. You're fine. You're fine. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much. You guys are wonderful and amazing, and I'm so glad I have your support and everything. You guys continue to make this job worth it every goddamn day. I seriously can't repay you guys enough. And once I get more stable income and everything else, I will create merch that you guys can buy and that you guys can enjoy. Yeah. So yeah, thank you all so much. And thank you, Professor, for coming into the chat and chatting away with me.
No problem.
But yeah, if anyone joins into the server, you also get to come chat with me on some nights where I'm just building models. And you can debate me, ask me questions, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. You're all wonderful people. I love you all so much. Please stay safe. See you all on Thursday.